Everyone, what's up? Once again, welcome back to another episode of Stock Market Review with Luwep Trading. Coach Lord is here, and we're about to get right into it. So today was a textbook rip and fade. So right, if you weren't watching Intraday, you might have gotten caught. If you thought maybe you see that pop, you see how green we were pre-market, and you jumped in right at the open, and you just stepped away for a little bit, you probably got caught, right? That was a rip on some fake news. Once again, about an imminent ceasefire that was supposed to happen and all this kind of stuff. But guess what? It is all a trick. But if you have been here, if you have been following this channel, you should not have gotten caught in this. I've been warning you guys. This is a headline-driven market. They are manipulating the market by making it pop. People in the know, but very early toward the close going in, the close today, for example, right toward the close they would buy. Tomorrow morning, some fake news popped out. We have a rip, and then when retail traders come in, they buy and they drop the market. One thing I want to say, based on the numbers, CNBC reported right before the close. I am so proud to be a retail trader. My retail traders that are not buying these rips. Instead, when they pop it up, we shorting it. I want to say I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. I don't know. Maybe this is the first time you're seeing this channel, but if you had the wherewithal to do that, I am proud of you. I have been preaching that. Not a lot of YouTubers been preaching that with you guys doing that. They've been saying, "Hey, we going to bounce. This is the all-time high. We go all this kind of stuff." But here, until we have confirmation that the bottom is in, we are not going to guess the bottom is in. Show me. I'm not trying to anticipate it. I need the market to show me the bottom is in. Once again, guys, if you are here, make sure to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, ask a question, anything. The engagement is what keeps the channel going. And I want to let you guys know that right off the bat, I am not your financial advisor. What I'm doing here is for educational purposes. I'm letting you guys know what the market, what the charts are telling me, and how I'm executing. If you would like to trade, if you want to trade, make sure you do your own due diligence. If you do not know what you're doing, contact a financial advisor and keep in mind that trading carries a lot of risk and including loss of capital. So trade carefully. With that being said, on this channel, for those of you guys that are always here, for those of you guys that are here, once again, on this channel, what we do here is break down the charts, break down the market, give you the info, give you the probabilities. I never give you guys certain moves, right? I'm never 100%. Best I'm ever going to do is say this is about a 75, 80% probability of a specific direction, right? We played a probability game based on specific levels, chart patterns, MACD, based on how the MACD is setting up, and all these kind of things. This is what we do here. There's no fluff, no BS, no emotion. This is straight charts. All right, right into the news, guys. Right into the news. As I told you guys, they were going to try to pull a couple of things to see if they can get the market to push up. So, before the market opened, we had the administration sending something out about how we had productive days and this is there's an imminent deal and all this kind of stuff. And then the market actually took that and started pushing up. Again, want to remind you guys, the algos do not know what is true and what is not. All they are doing is reading whatever the headline is in those articles. They get them fast. Remember, they get them way before we do. And they look for keywords that signifies whether this is bullish or bearish. Now, for those firms that actually had their algos getting tweaked a little bit, to not rely so heavily on these things. Maybe those guys stayed out of the fray, because even when we had that pop, you can see how low the volume was. It was not much volume at all, and as you could see, so we ripped up, and right as I told you guys yesterday, we started fading, but What was the probability I gave you guys yesterday based on where we are? Although it doesn't look like it, everything looked bearish at the time, but I can see a pop tomorrow morning. We most likely going to fade it in the evening, in the afternoon, and that's exactly how that played out. All right. Now, if you're able to use that information and make some money in the market today, I want to congratulate you. I want to say congratulations. I did my part with day trading. I did a couple of things. I had a great day. I'm gonna say I had a great day with day trading. All right. Let's see. Empire Path is here as usual. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here all the time. For those of you guys again that are here, please share the channel, drop an emoji, let me know you here, or you can just let me know where you just drop your state initial, anything. Those engagement really help the channel. I wanna reiterate that your engagement is what keeps the channel growing. So that's the only thing I'm asking you guys is to interact with the channel. A thumbs up, an emoji, a question, a comment, anything is really appreciated. All right. So let's go right into it. Or should I give you guys a little bit more with what's going on now? I want to mention that we might be heading into a really bad spot. Now, what do I say that? You already had is it prime minister or president of Italy? Someone there. Don't hold me to that because I don't really know how Italy works specifically. And what that guy said, he had this is the first time in his life that he's had to see if this war does not stop and the flow of oil continues. This is the first time in his entire life being in government, first time he's having sleepless night on how bad things can go. Thinking about those scenarios of the past couple of days, he's not been able to sleep. Now, he's not saying what they are. He may just be exaggerating. I don't know. All I know is if we do have a fuel shortage, it's going to be bad. And now that we have in fertilizer plants being bombed and all this kind of stuff, this is going to hurt grain production. So pretty much our food supply is also going to get impacted. Now, if you did not know, I believe the U.S. and Israel also hit a desalination plant in Iran and a couple of oil and gas plants, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe Tehran's energy grid. So, as retaliation, Iran, from what's being reported, just hit the Teva manufacturing plant. If you are not aware, Teva is in Israel, that Teva manufacturing plant. It is the largest drug producing manufacturing plant in the world. All right. A lot of our medications comes from that plant. Even though they may be that research was done in the U.S., the companies in the U.S., but they actually manufactured those products over there. If it's true that this was hit, this is big. We are going to feel it. If again, if true, this is not something I had a chance to fact check. If true, this is going to be a problem. But the one thing we know for sure, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, and as of right now, we are getting oil refineries being hit. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, just wanted to give you guys a bit of update. I mean, this is what's going on in the world. You should know what's going on in the world. Although we don't trade on news, we trade based on the charts. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's get into it, guys. Here we go. So this is what we did. Yesterday, I had this level. I showed you guys. Most likely, the market would probably do what? Choose the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance was exactly a bit of a pop, and this is exactly what we had. We actually well, we didn't gap, but we actually pushed up. So we closed at 633.94. We opened at 640. So we were up about 7 points. We were up 7 points right at the open. And all we did since that open, we had one candle, which was manipulation candle, and all we did was push down. That is the only thing we did the entire time. There you go. Now let's dig in the 4 hour time frame and see how we are looking. Again, this is the S&P 500. That's the SPY, right? So we didn't get all the way here. Now that's the thing. That means we still have room to drop another, say, 5, 6, 7 points again tomorrow. Possibly. We have that space to do that because we closed below that support level, but we did not hit the bottom. This is our bottom. This is where it is. We did not hit that. Let me see. If I try to be generous with that, if I tried and be as generous as I can, I don't even think that would be a valid trend line. Would it be valid? Actually, it would be valid. If I try to be very, very, very generous with that, but that actually would not work because this need to match. Again, the reason I'm saying that would not work because if I'm going to take the trend line from here, I must take the bottom right there. They must be connected. They must be connected. So there you go. Meaning we still have a little room, right? Now, if we're looking at the MACD is not giving us much life right now. So we did a lower high in the MACD, and we are still pointing straight down in the MACD, still pointing straight down. If you are here watching right now, please let me know you're watching. I would love to know who's here. I know there's a lot of you guys that always show up every single night. Would love to know who's here so I can shout you guys out. Let's see here again. That's the MACD. What am I looking for? I'm not really seeing anything beside a possible bear flag because once again, we pushed down, we did a bit of a pullback, and we are breaking down, continuing down. We actually finally broke that support level, but that was done after. It seems like this was done after hours. I'll see as we dig in a little more, so we'll see exactly when that was done. All right, let's go in the 2 hour time frame. This is the 2 hour time frame. So what that's showing me is we drop, right? We drop here, did a bit of a pullback. We did the second leg, so that move is done. So now this can be considered as so that move is done. So now if I'm looking at that, this would be this leg, pull back, and a continued drop. As of right now, this is the setup that is forming as of right now. But again, tomorrow we need to see if we can take this level, right? That's the level we need to take. I'm gonna put an alert here once again because if we do go below this level, I want to make sure I can go grab me a trade. All right, that's the one. That is something that is important for me. I want to make sure I can go in and put on my short once that happens. There we go. Okay, we put that in. Boom. Okay, let's get rid of this right here. Now, again, looking at the MACD, what did you guys see? Once again, what we see here is a lower high, which give us a bearish divergence, and we're pushing down. And as of right now, once again, we're not seeing any life in the MACD. We are not seeing any life. This is still trading down, right? This just made a lower high. So what it seems like it might actually do tomorrow. Maybe we do a bit of a pullback, and then we just make another lower high right inside of the negative territory. So for us to be able to rally, maybe at least rally to the point of this trend line, we would need to do this, push all the way up, and then maybe curl right into positive territory, making a higher low in the MACD. But as of right now, likely a move again, path of least resistance. That seems like we are getting more pressure on the way down. That's the 2 hours. If we go into 30 minutes, now the 30 minutes giving us a little bit of a glimmer of hope. This is what it's giving us, and let's see exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that bit of glimmer of hope that we are getting. Now, this is the look at the MACD, guys. This right here is the MACD. Hold on. There you go. That's the MACD. You see, this is where this low is. That was this low. And right now, we just made a lower low, but the MACD is actually making a lower high. So that is preparing for a possible bullish divergence. That is a possible bullish divergence. And if we do get that, James, I see you, man. I appreciate the interaction. Anybody else I see again, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, because I do need those engagements. I'm going to keep begging you guys for those engagements because this is how I grow this channel. I don't spend money on ads. I'm not buying subscribers or anything like that. So I need you guys to keep helping me pushing this channel. All right. Um, Here we go. So this is what we are getting with this. And as you can see, why do we have this low? This low is higher. If we are making a lower low, the MACD right here should have been lower than that level. The fact that it's making a higher low, the it is possible we might do a bit of a push if we can in fact curl up. All right, that is the big scenario. If we can curl up, as of right now, we have not curled up yet. That's not something that's been done yet as of right now. But if we can do it, that would be great. And it seems like on the way down we're losing a little bit of momentum. The overnight market once again is green and pushing up and ripping, but you just never know because a lot happens overnight. Between those countries at war, a lot happens overnight. So we might wake up to a completely different world, a completely different narrative. All right. So that is the S&P 500. That was a quick one. Let me see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is what they do, right? These are the things I try to warn you guys about. This is what they did. This market closed right here. It dipped below. This is the pre-market. This is around when they started putting out all these bull jive about, oh, we close to a ceasefire and we pushed up and we rally all the way up. And let's say you are a retail trader, you see, you don't want to get left behind because you're not patient, you're not following, you're not following the process, you're not exercising your POP. Even though Coach Lud comes here every day and talk to you about POP, for whatever reason, let's say you today you did not do it, so you came in and you just could not wait. So you see, this candle was done, then you see this big beautiful bullish green candle in the 1 minute. Now, this is first minute, 2 minutes. What does that look like to you? That almost seems like, oh my goodness, we just did an engulfing pattern. This thing is about to rip. And this is exactly how they get you. Because guess what? If you did not pay attention, you are not looking, all it did was went right to resistance level. And as a matter of fact, if you even go higher, it did not even make a new high uh, from the uh, um, from the pre-market high. So this is not even, like there's a big push going on. And then if you bought here, since they made that candle, this is what the market did. You guys can see it. This is what the market did. We just went straight down all day, and then we just pretty much just chopped up. Then the rest of the day, let me just go in the 5 minute. We just chopped around for the most part, and then we dropped again. That is all that happened, guys. All that happened, and this is how they do it. This is how they do it. If you are not careful, they will get you with things like that. This is why you are careful. This is why you have a process and you follow that process as close as you can. As close as you can, you follow that process no matter what. As close as you can. Actually, I sort of like lost you guys a little bit. You follow that process as close as you can, because that will stop you from getting into a lot of bad trade. Trust me. I cannot stress that enough. I just want to talk to you guys straight. I cannot stress that enough. Doing that will get you out of so many bad trades by having a process and following it. Like I talked to you guys yesterday, you gotta have a trading plan. You gotta have a process. Have a process. The process is your whole trading process. That includes your routine. What time do you wake up? What do you have? Do you have breakfast or do you just have coffee? Do you drink water? Do you eat an apple? Do the exact same thing every single day. For me personally, in the morning, I don't eat. I drink coffee. My first cup of coffee is black coffee. All right. I just want to wake up and I want to be focused and ready to go. All right, so it's black coffee. Yeah, I do have some mixed coffees for some good taste as well. I enjoy coffee, but my first cup of coffee is black coffee because I want to be completely focused. I want to be all in. I want to be energized. I don't eat anything, not a banana, not an apple, not anything. I don't eat. That's my process. I wake up, I go to the gym, I check the market, I go to the gym, I work out, and whatever, I come back, I have a cup of coffee. This is part of my routine. These are the kind of things that I do. All right, and that's part of my process. The routine is part of the process, and your trading plan is also part of the process. All right, so have a process, have a routine done, so you can do the exact same thing every single time. I understand we're not robots, and life happens, things change. A lot of us have families, right? We have kids, we have wives, we have dogs, whatever it is. So things can change, but try to keep your routine as tight and as close to sort of like some sort of repetitive behavior as you can. Whatever it is that you do in the morning, make sure you try to do the exact same thing every single day if you can help it, or at least very, very, very close to it. All right, let's get right back into the charts. We're gonna jump right into the cues. We are going to jump right into the cues. The cues did pretty much the exact same thing, so nothing changed. If you're looking at that once again, nothing changed. Guys, here's the one thing I want to tell you guys. Look how beautiful that is. Remember when I put this line? That was like, I believe, when was that? I put this line here. Was I That was March 23rd. March 23rd. I put this line here. This is the length of the move I was expecting. Let me just do that. This is the length of the move I was expecting. March 23rd. Look at where we are right now, guys. This is almost too perfect. Again, how did I predict that? I know a lot of people who know me also calls me the prophet when it comes to trading, right? How did I know that? It's not magic. It's technical analysis. When you know how to properly analyze a chart technically, right? When you understand this language, every single candle in here is telling you a story. Every single one is telling you a story about the price of the market, about what the market might be doing. Everything has a story to tell. Can you? But the thing is, not one of them tells you a full story. You will need multiple ones to connect the dots, right? They are all. It's a puzzle. It's connecting the dots so you can see the picture. Somebody might look at that and say, "Oh, that's a dirty chart. It just look all out of place, or whatever, this and that, and all this kind of stuff." But guess what? When I looked at that, that is not what I saw. What I saw was, look at, this is how simple I'm gonna make it for you guys, so you guys can see. Let me just move this out of the way just a little bit. This is how simple I saw it, right? So let's say this is not here. This is how simple I saw it for me. This is a push down. All here is consolidation. So that's a bear flag. So that's a pole. This is the flag. That means, actually, this was right here. That's where that ended, around right there. So that means once we break these support levels, right? Once we break it, and you can see it here once again, I always talk to you guys about a what? Break and retest, right? Once we do that, what I'm waiting for is whatever is the length of this pole from the top to here, whatever the length is, I'm expecting the exact same thing to happen from where we had the support level once we broke that support level. That's all it is. All of this, just tell me this is just accumulation, choppiness. The market, they just trying to just grab as much money as they can from as many retail traders as they can, just bouncing us up and down. What did I say all through here? I keep telling you guys, do not just day trade. Do not buy anything and stay in it because this is nasty. Right in there is nasty. You cannot buy long in here because there's no direction. But what? And all you had to do was be patient. If you were not in way up there or way up here, if you were not in, all you had to do was be patient. One of the things I always tell you guys, the market will always give you multiple entries. So if all through here, you miss this move, it does all this, so you did nothing, right? You did absolutely nothing with the market all through here. All you had to do, once it finally made that move, break, retest, it does that. Let's even say so. It does that. There's two things I say. If you are aggressive, say, okay, I'm going to buy it. I'm gonna short right there when it retests. Right now, if you miss that, that's okay. You don't need to be first. All right. You could say, you know what? I'm gonna wait until it passed this level. I'm just going to wait. So that means you would probably get in around right there and say you don't have to get the entire move. If you just get from right here, that's 580, 580 to right here. You don't have to get the entire move. You just get this little part of the move. That's it. Let me just erase those. So actually, wait, I need that. I'm going to erase this so you guys can see. Let's say you just get this little part of the move. This is from 580 to 563. That's about a 16 to a 17 point move. Now, if you know properly how to choose your strike price, all right. So this is the beauty of option trading. You don't just trade options just to trade options. There's a way to trade options, right? So if you know how to properly choose your expiration date, your strike price, delta, and all these things, if you know how to properly take that strike price, a $17 move, this is a this is possibly uh, a 300% return on your money. That could have been a 300% return on your money if you played it that way. Now, I'm not saying it would be cheap to play it that way, but and you have to have the guts to say, hey, I'm going to put that amount of money at play, but this is the possibility. And this is not you getting the top move or anything like that. This is not you getting the top move or anything like that. Let me see. Do you have a strategy that's been working in this market for this market volatility? My strategy is very simple. Um, I'm shorting at uh, um, at resistance and I'm buying at support. I'm only doing it intraday. Just doing it intraday. Again, that's where price action trading comes in because you have to be able to read and react. Right? This is not something where you really have time. You have to anticipate what might be happening, find the levels, and sit there and wait for those levels to reach. Right? So that's where technical analysis comes in. This is why technical analysis is so important when it comes to trading. All right. Um, Again, let's go back. So this chart, by the way, is exactly the same as the other one. So there's no difference there. As the S&P 500, they ended up doing pretty much the exact same thing. What I want to take a look at real quick is crude oil. Let's take a look at crude oil is spiking up, but guess what? As it was spiking up, guess what news we supposedly have? The White House just announced that Iran has gifted them an additional 15 oil tankers. Now, can we prove that? No, but the algorithm don't know, so they started dumping Crude oil. They started dumping oil futures. That's it. They, they don't know. Like, hey, this is what the White House says. Um, where exactly are those tankers? I mean, if you really want to pay attention to it, right? So let's just use our judgment. We can see the Strait of Hormuz live. There's a website you can go and you can see the live traffic. There has not been 15, 20 oil tankers that just went through. I think there was two that went through yesterday that was going to China, not to the U.S. Two. And there might, I think there was one going to India the other day. Japan paid a fee to have one goes, but this is what they said. So we'll see. I believe a journalist asked them, a reporter asked them, when should we expect to receive that, and is that going to be given to the American people? Um, we don't have any answers yet. I think we might have to wait for as long as we've been waiting for those Doge check. But hey, we'll see how that happens. Um, anyway, that's what's happening with oil. I still think oil is going to be going up, specifically after what happens today, where we have more oil refineries being hit, more infrastructure being hit, and Donald Trump also decided to say he's getting to a point where he might just destroy every single refinery and everything, all the oil and natural gas in Iran, and just leave. I mean, he literally said it. I might just bomb everything and just leave. Meaning, right now the problem, oil is going up because we the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Not like those things have been destroyed, but the fact that the flow has been stopped or slowed dramatically. Now imagine if this thing is completely eliminated. So that means we don't have any hope where anything is coming in. We can see 250, $300 barrel if something like that actually happens. Because I can guarantee you, if we do that in Iran, Iran will also eliminate oil and natural gas and fertilizer in Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, the UAE, and all the GCC states will lose all of this stuff. All right. Let's see what else I wanted to cover here. We're gonna take a quick look at our fellow friend Bitcoin, see how Bitcoin is doing. Real quick, I'm gonna go over the VIX right after that. Bitcoin is still trying to hold on a little bit, just dying but holding on. As long as as long as there's life, there's hope. I guess this is this is the most we can say about for Bitcoin right now. I'm not gonna waste too much time on that. This is dead money. This thing has been consolidating here, right in that zone. I told you guys this was going to stay in here for a while. This is the exact same thing we did here. Look at that. This was from November 21st, and this thing did not break until January 29. 2 months of consolidation. So far, we've been here February 6th, and we're coming into 2 months right now. I don't know when we're gonna have a move, so we'll see how that goes. Where's the VIX? So once again, what did the VIX do? The VIX went right and hugged our trend line. It's just hugging it and climbing up. All right, that it's almost like a centipede, just a centipede just climbing a wall or a tree or something like that. It's hugging it right now. So as of right now, all I can tell you guys, it seems like we might still be in for some pain right now. Taking a look at the MACD, if the MACD turns down, but it's still in positive territory, so the MACD can curl back up, which is what it seems like it wants to do. It wants to curl right back up. If we have that curl up, you know, hey, this is not going to be pretty. All right. I'm going to put that all the way. So now this is what we end up having right now. We have this rising wedge pattern. It's not even popping all the way up there. It's just doing that. But guess what? What's more important is the fact that right now we are above that structural resistance level. We are now firmly above that. that structural resistance level. All right. So can we pop above that? We'll see. It seems likely right now, but then again, a lot of things can change. Take a quick look at the 2 hour time frame. The 2 hour time frame, we actually pop. This is what we okay. This is what we don't want to see is something like that to make a higher low, right? Because this is what we did. We did a higher low, and you guys see what's going on in the market. We may do another one of those once again. We may do another one of those once again. Going the 4 hour time frame, still like we're still pushing up in the 4 hour time frame. I mean, this is crazy that we having an inverted head and shoulder pattern in the MACD. What's going on? Let's take a quick look at the daily. Again, the daily is just sitting right there. Very well positioned. It seems like we're just getting a bit of consolidation. Again, we going the data dump that we have on Friday is not looking very kind for the market because this may not be pretty. All right, this is about 9:40 right now. Let me see. Do I have any other questions? I do not have any other question. If you are here, just make sure to like, give me a thumbs up. All right, I'm always gonna keep asking you guys for that because that's the only thing I can ask you guys for. I don't know if anybody, if you find a way to get this hype button works, I would really appreciate that if you guys can let me know because I don't know and I've been busy. I keep forgetting to do that and whatever. But anyway, you guys that are here, if you are interested in trading futures or interested to learn how to trade, I do have a course that teach people how to trade. Even if you don't know anything about trading, about technical analysis, I teach that from soup to nuts. We'll show you how to do every single thing. If you're interested in trading futures, I do have a program that I teach and help people pass those evaluation. Right now in the community, we do have a lot of different members that have passed multiple different evaluations. So this is not something that happens by luck. If you are in the community, you should be able to see that multiple people, multiple and many different times, right? Because when you pass it, the certificate you have has the date on it. The specific date is on it, so you cannot change that. All right, and it doesn't come from me. I don't give out the certificate. I'm partnered with Apex. Once you pass it, Apex is the one that gives that out. So Apex is on that. This is not me giving certificates to people. All right. So if you're interested in any of these things, hit me on my email below. For those of you guys who watch, even in the on demand, meaning after the live, you're watching this on replay. I want to say again, I appreciate you guys. Take care. Just a reminder, once again, just a reminder. What is it? Tomorrow, I need you guys once again to take your time. Take your time. Look at this like it's there's a flow with the market. Sometimes you get connected. I'm not gonna lie. Today the market really messed with. He played in my face a little bit with my futures trading. Played in my face. I've literally found about 5 to 6 different great entries, and it came right there, and it did not tap me in. So this is what I'm talking about, right? My entry is placed right here. I'm waiting for it to come. It comes right here. Did not tip me in, and it started to dump. Guess what I did? If your guess is I didn't chase it, you're right. I let it go. I did not chase it because guess what? I don't chase. This is not part of my trading plan, so I'm not going to chase it. I missed that trade. I wait for the next one. I wait for the next one, and they keep on happening. They keep ticking me off. Again, that was on my futures trading only. But you know what? It is what it is. Tomorrow I come back again, because guess what? I still have my account. So I come back tomorrow because I'm not going to do things that I know I'm not supposed to do. All right. So as you guys trade tomorrow, once again, what is the rule? This is the number one thing. Get in, get green, get out. Don't be overly greedy. Don't be overly aggressive. Just get in, get green, get out. Take care, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Peace out.